One of the most asked questions I always get from students is, if I was to get a computer, what computer would I get? Okay? If I was serious about 3D modeling, gaming, game design, doing some really cool stuff with millions and millions of polygons and never having any kind of lag, I just wanted to be as creative as possible, what would be that machine? The first response is always, number one, never get a laptop. And here's some data behind it. So I have classes that are roughly about 20 to 25 students online. Okay? Out of the 25, 5 of which students might have laptops. Guess who struggle the worst in the class? Okay? They struggle so hard because usually when I'm teaching this guy, like Maya 2012 to 2014, huge upgrade there. You can't do squat with your machine. You can never update the video card in it because it's solid state within the machine. It's also a mobile video card. That's another thing that you have to really stay away from, is mobile video cards if you're really serious about this stuff. They drag you down so bad. It's basically being compressed for, you know, space within that system, and it's awful. Now there's two different variations of production though. So like if you were just making like textures for a game, doing some 3D modeling, stuff like that, you can maybe get away with like a mobile processor, but I would say that you're going to run into some issues when you hit the working with the game engine stuff. Okay, I use a MacBook Pro for any of my designing textures, 3D modeling. And most of the time I use my PC for the game design stuff and everything else. The problem is if I want to go mobile, I'll go Mac. If I want to stay stationary and really get to work on the system and have everything working at 1,000,000,000%, I use my PC. Only when I need to go mobile do I use my MacBook Pro. In most cases, I would prefer to sit down at my production machine, a PC workstation. Okay? There's 3 different things that you'll get thrown as far as terms are concerned. There's a workstation, a desktop, and a laptop. Okay? We already discussed laptops are really bad because of the upgrading issue and speed compatibility. People will sell you on the fact that it's an awesome gaming laptop. That doesn't mean anything. Same with desktops. If somebody says this is an amazing gaming machine, it is an amazing gaming machine. It will not function the same as a production workstation though. Okay? So a workstation has like qualified certified hardware in it. It has optimized motherboard, has optimized everything. It is strictly for production. It's a little pricier, but still, let's say a MacBook Pro will cost you like $2,000. I can build a workstation for $2,000, but the video card's going to cost you a little bit more. So when you look at this, like let's say Newegg for example, see how they got desktop PCs. Okay, and you're like, oh yeah, this is great, desktop PCs. Pretty case, lots of lights. Okay, another thing is fans and all that good stuff. Yeah, everybody gets it because it's pretty, right? That's how you shop. Okay, so let's type in workstation up here. Notice you have workstation motherboard, workstation case. It's labeled workstation. You'll find that there's a huge difference between the two. Qualified hardware, whatever software that you're using, you should look for certified hardware for it to go in your said machine. So even if you get a bare bones workstation and have to put in a video card, that's the best way to go. If you are a true nerd, you can build up the system yourself, and I would highly suggest if you're really into this type of hobby slash job, to learn how to build a machine. It's not that hard nowadays, really. It is not that tough. But you really get to know what goes into a machine that way. So looking for certified hardware, here I did this through the video card driver video, but I want to cover it here. If you go to Autodesk, for example, and you go to, I think it's a support. Oh no, go to products, and this stuff is buried quite badly when it comes down to looking it up, so bear with me. Let's go to Maya. I use that. System requirements. I'm interested in updating my video card right now, so I'm going to go with Maya 2014, and I'm going to look for the recommended hardware wizard. Now, just by nature, you can go to system hardware and it will give you a machine that is made for Maya. If you go to Autodesk, pick an operating system that you're interested in. Down below, here's all the ones that work well with Maya. So if that's what you want to do, these are the machines you should look at. Look at Workstation Desktop. They do make workstation laptops. Again, stay away from mobile if you can, unless you're really serious about having some issues maybe 3-4 years down the road, and just maybe getting a new laptop. But I would highly suggest workstation if possible. Okay, so there's a list of all the machines that work well with Autodesk, and you can probably go to Newegg and find any one of those, or the website like Dell. If you are just piecemealing it, let's go to graphics hardware, and let's go to Maya, and again go to Windows 7. Here's all the video cards that work well. Again, look at the M, stay away from it. Okay. I have an 1800 Quattro. If I'm interested in upgrading and I want to keep down the price, I would probably go to the Quattro 2000. But the memory right here is pretty important. If you look here, this is the lowest on the low. And the video card is one of the things that you don't want to upgrade. Maybe every 5 years I upgrade my video card. It's something I try to stay away from. Everybody does. So in this case, my lowest I can go past the 2000 is the 4000 or the 5000. So I'll go to Newegg and do this. So $709 to upgrade my video card alone. That's the most expensive part probably, other than your actual motherboard. One last thing I like to say to students, think about how things are built and how who are building them. In other words, if I'm using an Intel type of CPU, I will get an Intel motherboard because the Intel company puts those things together and makes sure they work at 100%. I always stay away from things like Asus and like PNY or any of those other actual motherboards, because really they don't qualify their hardware to the CPU as much as an Intel would next to an Intel. If you were going to AMD, maybe that would give you justification of getting those third-party applications, but then you're limiting yourself to another desktop machine instead of a workstation. So I always like Intel. I'll always live and breathe Intel. I was an AMD user for many years. Those were the worst years of my life, to be honest with you. So As far as PNY being the maker of the video card, again, you know, I try to stick with like PNY for the video cards, and I try to stay away from like Asus for video cards. Again, that's in my humble opinion for that. But PNY does put out a really nice product when it comes down to video card stuff. And Intel does not make a Quattro. Alright. So, that's my spiel in a nutshell. If you're buying a machine, look at whatever software you're using, see if there's some certified machines out there, shop for those certified machines. Stay away from laptops. Can't say it enough. Alright. Enjoy.